Sunday and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today, I'm going to be explaining to you guys what it's like flying into Japan during the panoramic. All the steps you'll need, everything that you'll need to do. Step number one, don't. Unless you're like me and you absolutely have to, keep watching. It's hard even telling this story. I really want to relive all of that trauma. Not really, but... So, if you guys have watched my other video, leaving Japan, going to America, you would have saw some of the process, but coming back was significantly more difficult. Also guys, things are constantly changing, like literally day by day. Make sure you check all of the rules and regulations on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website and the Ministry of Health and Labor website. A lot of this stuff depends on where you live, where you're coming from, and of course what visa you have. So, first, not the Rona. I had 2 tests. Alright, so first I'm just going to give you guys like an overview of everything that you will need in order to get into Japan. After that, I'm going to like walk you through the process, everything that I personally went through getting over here, which was a nightmare. Things that you'll need in order to get into Japan. Be sure to watch to the end because there's a lot of specifics that I need to explain, but here's just like a little quick overview. Number 1, you're going to need a negative COVID test. Number 2, you're going to need to sign and fill out this written pledge. Number 3, a Japanese phone number and a smartphone, and you also need to download these 2 apps. Number 4, you need to fill out this like online written questionnaire and then take a screenshot of the QR code that you'll get at the end. Number 5, you're going to need private transportation that can pick you up from the airport and take you to your destination, which leads me to number 6. You're gonna need a Japanese address to the place where you're gonna be quarantining. Quarantining. Is that a word? There's a lot of specifics in that checklist. So, I'm gonna walk you guys through my entire process. Your flight. I had to change my flight 3 times. If you guys would have saw the video of me coming to America from Japan, you would have saw they canceled my flight, so I had to book another one. And at that time, I didn't know where I would be in California or when I would be coming back, so I just booked like a anything type of flight because it was a round trip ticket. That ticket was a nightmare. I had like 50 layovers, so I ended up having to change it. That was the first change. The second change, that flight was literally perfect. It only had 1 layover and it left from my hometown in Bakersfield, which means I don't have to spend 2 hours in the car driving to LA. Happy, packed, ready to go, paid for my extra bag, booked my seat, boom, trying to get the COVID test. Here is the big problem, y'all, oh my god. Ended up not making that flight because I could not get a COVID test.
Individual clinic hours. Accelerated Urgent Care now offers antibody treatment for COVID-19.
A different office. They told me that you guys have the rapid PCR test that's molecular base. I just wanted to confirm that you did have it and that there's a doctor there that can sign my form. It's like an official government form so I can travel.
Okay, so you're trying to get the rapid PCR?
Yes.
The one we have is rapid antigen. The PCR we offer is not rapid. It's the one that takes 3 to 4 business days. Sorry about that. Okay, so yes, we do offer the molecular PCR, but it is not the rapid. So it's going to take about 3 to 4 business days.
Okay, do you know if any of your locations offer the rapid one?
No, it's only going to be the antigen that's rapid.
Got it. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye. Okay, I'm screwed. Alright, so you need a very specific COVID test, no sooner than 72 hours. The clock doesn't start until the direct flight that is leaving to Japan disembarks. You also need the molecular base PCR test. It needs to be the very painful stick up your nose nasal type. And what I thought I needed, I actually did not need, so this is an example of things are changing literally every day. The website said that we needed to have the PCR facility fill out this specific form and the doctor has to sign it. I'll just tell you right now, it turns out that I didn't even need that form and I was stressing so much about getting a doctor's signature for no reason. In my town, Bakersfield, almost no one does this test. This can be a huge problem if you have a bunch of layovers, a flight that's leaving really, really late at night, or a flight that's leaving on the weekends. One of the only places that did it in my town was closed over the weekend and I was leaving at 6 a.m. on Monday. So this was like impossible to get this test done. Almost every place didn't have a doctor on site to sign that form. I spent a really long day going to various places to try and get this test to see if number 1, they even had the right test, if they can do it on time, and if they can get a doctor to sign this form. After a long day of struggling, I had to change my flight.
Making the change is no refund for that, no voucher either. You may call the airline directly and find out if it's possible for you to get that back or to place it for later use. Thanks for the patience. One more moment, please.
Okay. Timer doesn't start until the plane leaving directly to Japan disembarks. So I was going to be stuck in the air because of the 2 layovers, so I couldn't pick up the PCR test or take it. I had the same problem all over again. I also couldn't find anyone who can give me a doctor's signature. Gave up, booked a plane ticket from LAX direct to Japan. I absolutely highly recommend you don't do any layovers, just book direct. Also, these layovers, they're going to be a huge problem later on. I will explain that as we go. But before we continue, today's video is in collaboration with GlassesUSA.com. As you guys know, I absolutely love GlassesUSA.com. They have a wide selection of styles to choose from. They have a lot of customization, like you can add anti-blue light coating, UV protection. Also, if you don't want to leave the house or you're stuck in the house like me, GlassesUSA.com offers this amazing virtual try-on feature on their website where you can actually try on the glasses. So I have 4 different pairs of glasses to show you guys today, starting with the ones on my face. These are called Ototo Bellona. I got them in clear and silver. I did get them with the anti-blue light coating, so I can use these when I'm working on my laptop. And they are prescription. These are called Muse Hopper. I got these in the color Tortoise. They are prescription. And I got the new transition coating on the lenses in the color Sunset Yellow. It's actually very sunny in this room right now. I have like 2 windows right here. You can actually see that they're like activated right now. GlassesUSA.com and Transition Optical have teamed up to launch their new limited edition Transition Pastel collection. These transition light intelligent lenses constantly adapt to UV light. This means that they start out clear indoors or in the shade, and then when they're exposed to the sun, they immediately start to darken. These transition lenses block 100% of UV rays and help protect against harmful blue light inside and outside. They just make wearing glasses very hassle-free so that you don't have to switch between wearing clear glasses and sunglasses everywhere you go. The pastel transition coating can be added to any glasses on the entire site. Next, these are called Muse Elliot. I got them in the color Tortoise and Gold. They are so freaking cute. I absolutely love these. These sunglasses are prescription, so I can actually see. These are definitely my favorite sunglasses so far. These are the Versace VE4384B. They are as bomb as the name is long. They're black and they have this amazing little diamond thing on the side. I freaking love these. They feel so high quality. Anyways, those are all of the pairs that I got. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna have a link down below in the description box with all of the information. Highly recommend. Thank you again, Glasses USA, for sponsoring today's video. The PCR test was definitely hands down the biggest nightmare of this entire experience. LAX airport does have a really great place that does the correct test for traveling. It's called Clarity Mobile. You need to make an appointment online before you get there. I think they have 3 different locations: the Tom Brady International Airport, like Terminal 2 and some other terminal. They have the PCR test that is like 24 hours. They have the PCR test that I think is like 3 to 5 hours. And then they have the rapid 1-hour PCR test. That is the one that I got. I paid $1.99. It is the up the nose, out the eyeball test. They give you your results through their website, and it is the correct test for getting into Japan. I left Bakersfield around 10. I think we got to LAX around 12. My PCR test was not until 3 o'clock, but I asked them and they were able to do my test a little bit early.
Just uncover your nose.
Oh God!
5 seconds, okay? Travis. Relax, please. 7 seconds. Alright, you're all set.
I gotta fix this hair.
Only
Ready? Thank you so much.
No problem. I just got my little COVID test done, and also I made my appointment for 3 o'clock, and it's 2 o'clock now, and they were able to do mine early, and it was super easy. I didn't have to go anywhere. You check in right here, and she does it literally right there. Like, you don't have to go anywhere, which was really nice. Now let's just pray that your girl don't have the Rona. I asked them to fill out that form that I told you guys about that the doctor needs to sign. For some reason, they're like, no, we can't do it. Also, we don't have a doctor on site. I was so stressed. I thought, like, I'm not going to get in. Like, this is a form that you absolutely need. I'm not gonna get in. So my plan was just present the actual negative COVID test paper and don't even mention or show them that other form that the doctor needed to sign. I did that and I was fine. Literally no one asked for that form anywhere. The actual negative certificate was enough. So if you can't get a doctor to sign that form, I think you'll be okay. My parents waited with me there until I got my results, just in case you know your girl got the Rona. I didn't, came back negative, great, they took off, and I had to wait at the airport literally all day. My mom and Floyd just left, so I'm by myself, and it is 3:30, guys. Here's the problem. my flight doesn't leave until 1 a.m. It was awful. And I had to spend hours outside of the airport because you can't check your bags in until like, what, 2 or 3 hours before the flight. Waiting in the airport for so long, I saw so many weird things. There's this racist dude going off on people. I'm so shocked that he did not get in trouble. I was so angry.
You don't even belong in the place where you come from because you betrayed my people. You stupid Jew. Run away. Call the police. Bomb the clock. People who are pedophiles aren't allowed to be around other people 6 feet away. Yeah, you're a pedophile. Goodbye. Loser. Pedophile. Goof. All movements of goof.
I'm a woman, I'm alone, safety first, but yes, I did actually say something. I said something to the people that he was yelling at. I was like, hey, you guys need to go tell security, but they didn't care. They were fine, they handled it fine. Another dude got arrested right next to me. Apparently he stole some chips and then ran out of the store naked. There is actually a specific word for that crime. I can't remember what it was, but the police kept asking him like, do you know what blah 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 is? It's when you steal something and then run out naked. If anybody knows this word, please let me know. All the restaurants in there closed at 4. My dumb butt didn't even realize and was starving. I had to eat chips, y'all. Booking the test, waiting for the results, and then waiting to take the test results to the check-in counter. I was literally about to cry because I just had so much bad luck and I just knew they was gonna be like, nah, something's wrong, you can't get in. I don't know, I was just really stressed. Make sure you print out an actual paper form of the negative COVID test results. They will not take any digital copies. You can't just show your phone. You have to have a really good, clear piece of paper.
I printed out.
Thank you.
Can you send a PDF file, like attachment, not like
Yeah.
This one is like a screenshot and that.
Got to the counter and I didn't have the printed type that I needed, and they were so kind. They were like, email this little email address. He went in the back and printed it out for me. He had some trouble at first and I was like so scared. I booked through United, which actually put me on an ANA flight, and if you guys know, ANA is a great airline. Highly recommend United and ANA for this entire process because they were amazing. One thing that you definitely should do ahead of time is download the 2 apps. I will put them right here. Another reason why I like United, if you go into the United app, they tell you literally everything. It's up-to-date information. They tell you what apps you need, what documents you need, what tests you need. I actually did a lot of research ahead of time, but I didn't have to because the United app gave it all to me right there, and then when I'm on the plane, they gave me all the documents. Are you still with me? Are you bored? I'm bored and stressed. Going through security and everything else kind of was like the same as usual. Once I was on the plane, they basically handed out every document, every form you would possibly need. So I really didn't have to print and fill out all those things ahead of time. They literally gave you everything that you would need on the plane. Probably depends on which airline you're using. Landing in Japan. Oh Lord Jesus. Dang. Holy poop. I knew this was going to be a long process, so I kind of braced myself. It definitely wasn't as bad as I thought, but it's very time consuming, very meticulous, a lot of steps, a lot of documents. We landed an hour early. We landed at 4 a.m., but we didn't get off of the plane until 5. I think we had a lot of Olympians. I'm not really sure, but they just seemed like it. Like everybody was super duper abnormally tall. There's a lot of signs and stuff for people for the Olympics. So yeah, right when we got off, there were like stations for every single document. They asked for that QR code that you had to take a screenshot of. Have all of your documentation with you in your hand. Don't put it in your backpack because you're going to be pulling it out 50 billion times. They ask you for your COVID test. They check that that's okay. By the way, the vaccination. Not only did they absolutely not care, they didn't even ask for that document even once. Completely useless. They ask you where you're coming from. Now, here's the other important part that I was talking about with the layovers. If you can, try and make sure you have a direct flight from wherever you are going. If you have multiple stops and they're in multiple states, they're gonna put you as a high-risk traveler. Also, you can be labeled as a high-risk traveler if you're coming from an area of a lot of COVID, I guess. I thought California was on the list, but apparently maybe not because I was not labeled as a high-risk traveler. If you are, they're going to make you quarantine for 3 days in a government facility, which is basically just, I think it's APA hotel. A bus picks you up and you have to stay there for 3 days, and then you gotta go to wherever your quarantine place is, which would suck. I wanted to go home right away. I was so nervous. One of the guys behind me was labeled as high risk, and I was like asking him like, what happened? What'd you do? Where you coming from? So basically he had like a lot of layovers, and I think that might be why. If you're traveling to multiple destinations within 14 days, you're gonna be labeled as high risk. Just don't do it. Try and stay in one place if you can for 14 days prior to coming to Japan. Make sure when you get off the flight that you don't eat or drink anything, because if you do, you won't be able to do the saliva COVID test. You'll have to do the up the nose through the eye test again. We did have to take another COVID test. We did the saliva test, which was actually disgusting. If you you know me, you know I have like a spit phobia, so this was pretty tough. Basically, they give you a little tube and a funnel, and you have to like spit into it in a little corner until it's filled up to a specific line. It's disgusting. You keep going, it's a lot of walking. Another thing we had to do was sit down with someone and they walk you through every step for setting up the 2 apps. So don't set them up ahead of time, just download them. And then after that, there's like a final check where they go through literally all of your documents once more to make sure that you have everything. Definitely the longest wait was like waiting for COVID test results. But after you get that, you get to go through immigration and you're pretty much good to go. Waiting for that second COVID test was somehow still nerve-wracking. Like, did I catch the Rona while I was eating peanuts? I don't have the Rona. Don't have the Rona. Don't have the Rona. I thought I was in the clear, but they scared the poop out of me. When I got to immigration, for some odd reason, they pulled me specifically to the side and put me in some private room in the back, like way in the back. It had like old supplies and junk. I'm like, oh no, they go send me back to Africa. After I waited for a really long time, did the fingerprints and the pictures, they actually let me go. I was like, oh, thank God. Once you get out, like, that's it. Nobody cares. I did have private transportation. Ash came to pick me up. I paid for the rent-a-car. You need that. Mr. Fuzzy Bun. Mr. Fuzzy Bun. We do have to quarantine for 14 days at home. There are a lot of rules. Basically, just don't leave the house. Don't leave. Stay in your house. And they do have a lot of rules in place to make sure that you stay in the house. Those 2 apps you downloaded are spying on you. They also put some kind of weird tracking thing on my phone in the settings app. GPS tracking, government junk. Once you get home, you have to click like check in to let them know that you're there. After that, you wait for like messages and video calls and phone calls from them. I did get a video call from them. I thought it was gonna be like somebody on the line, but basically it was like a circle and you had to put your head in the circle box and show that the background is your house. You basically just say, I'm at home, and that was it. Like, nobody was actually on the other side of the phone. No one talked to me at all. You just had to show on the video screen that you were at home. They'll also call you and ask you, like, are you at home? Yes, I'm at home. And of course, you have GPS tracking on your phone, so they'll know if you leave, if you take your phone anywhere. You also have to submit some daily health check thing where you just tell them how you're feeling. Do you have a fever? Do you have any symptoms? Right when I got home, I got a message that somebody on our flight had COVID. So they're like, make sure you stay your butt at home for 14 days. Both of my COVID tests were clear though, so I'm pretty sure I don't have the Rona. Honestly, this quarantine isn't bad at all. I've been gone for like, I don't know, 2.5 months, almost 3 months. I have a lot of stuff to do. I have a lot of cleaning to do, work bills, organizing, all that stuff. So I'm actually not mad that I'm stuck in the house. I probably would have been in the house for at least a week anyways. Definitely try and organize some way to get some groceries. That's probably the biggest downside to this quarantine, is that I can't go to the grocery store. Anyways, I hope that was helpful, guys. If you guys are flying, if you have any questions, I'm not surprised because I kind of don't remember most of it. I tried to forget it. Thank you again to Glasses USA for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are interested, I'm gonna have a link down below in the description box. If you guys have any questions, just leave one down below and I'll be sure to get back to you guys. If you guys like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It would really support my channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.